class, next chapter is your ninth chapter, internal trade. Like you are in internal trade. Basically, internal means buying and selling of goods and services within the geographical boundary of the country. So this is the internal trade. So these are the main features of internal trade that is given over there. Buying and selling of goods and services within the country, within the geographical boundary of the country. Payment is to be made within the with the home currency. There are very few formalities. They are comparing this with the external trade. And then modes of transport, local modes of transport are being used over there. So all these are compared with the external trade. So types of internal trade are wholesale trade and retail trade. That is given over there in your book also. So in wholesale trade, what happened that goods are to be purchased in a bulk. So then wholesaler used to sell those goods in the very small lot to retailers, and then retailer again sell the goods to final consumer, and that is basically on the cash basis, not on the credit basis. The features of wholesale trade that is to be discussed where wholesaler is a link between the producer and retailer. Producer who produce the goods for final consumer who is gonna purchase the goods. So he's the link between the two, and then there is a retailer who is purchasing the goods from wholesaler and then then sell it to the final consumer. So wholesaler basically is a businessman. Producer is also doing business for profit. Retailer is also doing business for profit, but consumer is not there to earn any type of profit. He is there only to consume the goods. He is there only to purchase the goods. So he is not in the part of the chain. So the part of chain link between the producer and retailer, wholesaler is there. Fine. Now the next thing is wholesaler deals with the large quantity of goods. Definitely wholesaler deals with the large quantity of goods, because wholesaler is there who used to purchase the goods from manufacturer in the large quantity and then sell it to the retailer in the quantity as per they want. Exactly, it is the small quantity. Generally wholesaler deal in the specialized line of product. For example, the wholesaler of stationery, the wholesaler of can be of garments, wholesaler of the, you can say, woolen clothes. So there is a wholesaler who is used to deal in one line of product, not in all line of product. Wholesaler invests large amount of capital definitely in maintaining the stock of goods so that there will be no harm for the goods. Then wholesaler generally sell goods in small lots to the retailer. Definitely margin of profit is very low for wholesaler comparatively manufacturer producer is having a very high margin of profit, and wholesaler is not having that much profit. So he is comparing wholesaler with the producer here. Wholesaler is the first intermediary in the distribution chain. So I am talking about the distribution chain. Here is only link is given over there. Distribution chain, if you are talking about, then definitely you are talking about those people who are purchasing, selling goods for the purpose of profit, not for the consumption. So here we cannot in this particular type of distribution chain, in this chain we cannot include consumer. So wholesaler is basically the first intermediary. Intermediary means that is a middleman between the producer and the retailer. Now services of the wholesaler. Wholesaler definitely provides the services to manufacturer and retailer both. So to the manufacturer, it facilitates large scale of production and economies of scale. Economies of scale means benefits of purchasing in bulk, benefits of purchasing in large scale. Definitely due to a presence of wholesaler, manufacturer would be able to do all the economic activities in bulk and get the benefit of economies of scale over there. Now it helps in marketing function. So all the marketing function means creating demand up to the final selling of goods to the consumer. These are all the marketing function. They start from the creation of demand and it ends at where the goods have been finally sold to the final consumer. So here all the marketing function, in all the marketing function, wholesaler used to participate for the manufacturer by sending the goods to the retailer on time, and by getting all the information over there, conveying it to the manufacturer. So all these activities are to be done by the wholesaler there. And if any incentive has been given by the manufacturer, that is to be conveyed to the retailer with honesty, and all type of extra product, all type of premium product, all type of gifts that has been given by the wholesaler to retailer, if that has been provided by the manufacturer as a promotion scheme. Now export advice. Definitely wholesaler provide their export advice to the manufacturer. Export advice regarding price, advice regarding packaging, regarding shape of the product, regarding design of the product, regarding quality of the product, sale of the product, each and every information manufacturer can get from the wholesaler, and wholesaler used to collect this information from retailer. Now the storage, definitely this is the main function of wholesaler, which he does for the manufacturer. Definitely all wholesalers having a storage godowns as per the temperature that is required by the goods. So all type of storage facility must be having by the wholesaler, so that goods can be protected, goods can be safe, they can keep fresh. Now the financial assistance definitely given by the wholesaler to manufacturer. How? Because many times manufacturer are not having fund, they are shortage of fund. In that case, wholesaler provided the credit or provided the advance money to the manufacturer, so that he can manufacture and then sell out the product to wholesaler, and then wholesaler sell the same product to the retailer. Now the next thing is bearing risk. Definitely with the manufacturer, wholesaler is also there to bear the risk, because the point at which the manufacturer has done all the activities and manufactured all the products, so there wholesaler is there to purchase all that product and then keep it in the storage or go down, and then sell it out to the retailer in the small quantity. So definitely with the manufacturer, wholesaler is there to bear the risk of selling the goods to the final consumer. So until the goods you can say reach to the final consumer, it is safe with the wholesaler. Wholesaler is there to protect the goods or ensure the goods, facilitate production continuity. Definitely with the continuation of production, the goods can be supplied smoothly to the market, so that particular feature, that particular activity can be possible with the help of wholesaler giving all the benefit to producer, so that producer can concentrate on their core activity of production. Producer sell out the goods to wholesaler, and then wholesaler sell out the goods to retailer, and after selling the goods from manufacturer to wholesaler, now manufacturer can concentrate on their core activity, whatever is the production. Now services to retailer. Now the services of wholesaler to the retailers. Availability of goods. Definitely the goods are available to the retailer because the wholesaler is purchasing the goods from the manufacturer on time, keep it in the storage, and then supply it in a very small quantity to retailer. That's the availability of goods can be possible only with the presence of wholesaler there. Now the grant of credit. Wholesaler provided the credit to manufacturer by giving them advance, and also provided the credit facility to retailer if they want. Many times retailer are not able to make the payment on time. Their wholesaler gives them trade credit. Their wholesaler gives them more time, so that retailer could sell the product to the final consumer and collected the money from the final consumer and then make the payment to the wholesaler. Now risk sharing. Definitely risk sharing. Wholesaler share the risk with manufacturer as well as with the retailer also. With the retailer, wholesaler how wholesaler can bear the risk, because many times wholesaler sell the product to the retailer on the terms that if the goods have not been sold out by the retailer to consumer, in that case the goods can be kept, the goods can be returned by the retailer to wholesaler. So all these terms and conditions can be there. So all the risk of selling out the product to the final consumer, if the goods are in between the retailer and the consumer, then wholesaler is there to provide all type of help to the retailer. Fine. So with the transportation and with the storage of goods, all type of risks are shared by the wholesaler with the retailer and manufacturer both. Specialized knowledge is with the wholesaler, because he has to directly deal with the manufacturer, so he knows about the product and everything, all the schemes, each and everything about the product. And then retailer is there to get all type of information from the wholesaler that is specialized for the product. Now the publicity. Wholesaler advertise the product. Wholesaler do many promotional activities for the sake of the product to make it more make the people aware about the product. So all these help the retailer to sell out the product to the consumer. So marketing support is there with the retailer by the wholesaler, because all the marketing function is done by the wholesaler, and they used to do advertisement, sale promotion activities. Many incentive has been given by the wholesaler, and that has been announced by the wholesaler from his own for selling out the product in the market. So that definitely benefit the retailer and ease the activity of retailer of selling the product to final consumer. Economies of scale, that is also there, because wholesaler used to buy the quantities from the from the manufacturer in a bulk, and then discount can be get earned by the wholesaler from the manufacturer, and the same discount which he used to enjoy, he share that discount with the retailer by supplying that product to the retailer with the and retailer is also there, because whatever MRP is written over there, the retailer not they are not used to buy the product at that MRP. Definitely the price for the retailer is less than the MRP, and that is the definitely the margin and the profit which is shared by the wholesaler with the retailer as per the terms and conditions they both are having with each other. Now the next thing is retail trade. So what is retail trade? Retail trade is one of the very in business nowadays. So Amazon is the biggest of all, and richest of all the other business activities. So that is in the retail. So retail was earlier retail was considered as a very low type of business, but now the retail trade is very much in and earning so much profit, and number one business can be the retail trade as per the you can say net worth or all the you can say profit margin. So retail business is basically that is the last link in the distribution chain, and because retail trade is the last link, because after that goods have been sold to the consumer. So that is the selling of goods in a small lot to the consumer. The main feature of the retail trade, the goods have been sold not on the credit but on the cash basis, because that is the trend over there. So retail is the last link. Basically this is the main feature, and the second one is it sells the goods and services directly to the consumer. Variety of product retailer can have. They no need to just sell out in one line of product. They can sell variety of product. Many type of things can be on the retailer shop. They buy the goods in a small quantity and they definitely sell out also in a small quantity. They are generally located in the residential area, near the populated area. Retailer shops are there, and they no need to maintain a very big godown. A space can be there with them. A very small space can be there with them, but no need to have a very big godown for keeping the goods. So retailer basically they can contact the customer on telephone, internet, TV, and through this retail showroom. Definitely many time retailers have their own have the numbers of the consumer, and they used to convey the information regarding the product and discount and all through the phone number. Definitely in today is a trend. Whenever you visit some shop and you are purchasing over there, they used to note down your phone number also, so that they can convey whatever incentive they want to give to you, or any last date for discount and all that has been conveyed to you. So retailer act as a middleman between the wholesaler and the customer over there. So, and it is the last link basically. Now the services of retailer. So retailer provide the various type of services to consumer. So consumer is there, that is a regular supply of good can be there when we are talking about the link between our services of retailer to consumer. So if the retailer shops are there, definitely regular availability of product can be there, and many crises we have been suffered during the last 10 years. So definitely there we feel the importance of retailer. We know when the shops are not open, they are closed, then what type of problem we used to face as a final consumer. So definitely regular availability of product could be possible only with the help of retailer. Wide selection, because retailers are having all type of varieties, all type of goods, all type of brands. So there is a wide selection for the customer. They can purchase any type of good from that particular retailer and inquire about that. New product information, definitely retailer used to provide the new product information. If today's time retailer is not aware, they are not providing you the appropriate information, then definitely you are not comfortable that shop, and you used to say that this retailer doesn't know anything. And we used to visit those shops where we are getting the information regarding the product and suggestion from the retailer also. So demonstration after sale services are also there with the retailers, because retailers are having the product and they demonstrate the product, because they are having the product or dummy. They used to demonstrate the product, show the product, and after sale services you can get from the retailer. And now the toll service number is also there, that has been provided by the manufacturer for the ease of the you can say help for the consumer. They can dial that toll free number and they can get after sale services from there also. Retailer are not that much responsible for after sale services as per new trend of selling. Home delivery. So definitely some retailers make arrangement for the home delivery of the goods, definitely with extra charge, definitely they charge. Now the convenience in buying. Retail stores are there and they are located near the residential area, so it is easy to purchase goods from those shops. Credit facility, many retailers are providing credit facilities also. An account has been opened by the consumer on the part of retailer, but that is not in trend. Retailer is used to sell the product on cash basis. So if any credit facility has been provided by retailer to consumer, that is for very small time, and after that we have to make the payment for this. Fine. Definitely, there is a services of wholesaler and services to wholesaler and manufacturer by the retailer. Retailer is there, that is the last link of the distribution chain, and it is providing the all type of services to wholesaler and manufacturer also. First of all, helps in distribution of goods. Goods have been produced for the consumer, not to keep in the store, not to keep with the manufacturer, not for the showcase. That has been produced for selling out in the market at a profit to the final consumer, for the use of the consumer. So it helps in distribution of those goods to the final consumer. Personal selling, definitely personal selling effort has been done by the retailer, comparatively wholesaler and manufacturer, because he is in position to talk to the consumer. He is directly deal with the consumer of the product, and he used to do personal selling with all efforts to sell out the product to the final consumer and convincing them also. Enabling large scale production. Large scale production could be possible with the help of retailer, with the presence of retailer, because retailer used to sell the product to final consumer. When goods has been sold out, then there is a point for producing more goods. So if a retailer is not able to sell out the product to the final consumer, then there is no use for the manufacturer to produce more goods and services in this case. So large scale production can be possible with the help of retailer only. Now retailer helpful in promotion. Definitely all the promotion activities has been promoted or has been executed by the retailer for the final consumer. Then the retailer is there to promote the activity, to do all the promotion activities for selling out the product and telling or conveying all the incentive given by the wholesaler and manufacturer to the consumer. It collects the market information. Market information means price, product, favor, or say liking, preferences of the consumer. All these type of information can be collected from the retailer, because they are well much aware that whether consumer is liking the product or they are having any complaints. So they are giving the very right information to the wholesaler, and wholesaler used to pass that information to the manufacturer. And manufacturer then do the production as per the requirement of the consumer, so that there will be always that product would be in demand. Now next, classification of retailer. So retailer can be classified basically on the following basis. They can be classified. First of all, size. So retailers, definitely they are different in size. Like small store can be there, a department store can be there, a very big store can be there, like you can say Reliance is a very big store. So I just told you that retail business is very much in, so it's a big store can be there. So on the basis of size, the retail business can vary from one to another, and the space they are having under one roof. Product mix, another criteria for the classification of retail store, that is that what type of variety product they are having. In maybe in some retail showroom you are having a very less variety, and another you can have very large variety. Like you can, if you found the same retail shop in the metro area, you are having in metro cities, and you can have the large variety, but in the small cities they don't have the such varieties. And definitely retail store can have the specialty stores also, single line product also, like Nike, that is also a retail store, and they are having only Nike shoes. That is single line product, specialty stores. Pricing, so definitely pricing is another criteria where you can differentiate one retail store from the other. So how much price is there, how much discount they used to give to you with margin of profit. So that is also with the pricing, different pricing, you can have the difference between the retail shop. Like you can say Easy Day is giving you more discount, Reliance you are getting more discount comparatively, Shoppers Stop, or you can say Mango, like retail store, they are having a very less discount for the consumer, they are having high price goods. So on the basis of pricing you can differentiate the retail showroom. Service level, definitely service level is different from one to another shop. In many retail shop you can get all the credit facility, home delivery, and many other facilities, but in some other retail shop you can just get the product and just pay for it, and might be you're not they are not having enough sales force to tell you about the product and all the other information. So on the basis of service level, a retail shop can be different from one to other. Form of ownership, definitely is there in a sole proprietorship business, partnership business, or companies there behind that. Like in Reliance there is a company behind that, and can be sole proprietorship business which is selling the product. So form of ownership can also be the main criteria for the classification of retail business over there. So this has been cut out for you. That is the types of retail trade, independent retailer, fixed shop retailer. So all these has been cut out. You have to cut it out. This here, this has been cut out. Fine. So you have to do up to this point. And definitely some topics are there which we'll discuss later on. Fine. So up to this point you are to just topic up to this point, that is to 58 page up to this point. Fine.